a depression, okay? Something like happened in the 1930s. So just to repeat, 1929 to 1932, there was a fall in the economy and a very double-digit unemployment rates and a magnitude of fall in the economy like about 10%. Do I think we're in that? Yes.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to The Impeccable Investor. Ray Dalio is one of the biggest names in the business world. He is the founder of the global macro investment firm called Bridgewater Associates. Ray Dalio indeed has extensive knowledge of global economics. Now that COVID-19 has wreaked havoc all over the world, the global economy is thriving. Ray Dalio believes that the shutdown of businesses and the ongoing economic disruption will not only lead to a global recession greater than the 2008 one, but also have an economic downturn similar to the Great Depression of 1930. In 1931, the world saw the most severe economic depression when the stock market crashed, sending Wall Street into panic and causing the wipeout of millions of investors. Ray Dalio predicts that due to this global pandemic, the world will go through a modern-day economic depression. Dalio further predicted a 10% loss in the U.S. economy, which would lead to a double-digit unemployment rate, the effects of which would last years rather than a few months. When a country sees a recession, its production and GDP gets affected negatively. Their economic may see a negative growth for multiple quarters that last for several months. However, the depression that Dalio is talking about may take years to get back on track towards recovery. This pandemic and the social distancing that follows will affect the businesses in the long term. Their balance sheets and their employees' incomes are being affected negatively. Many employees are also being laid off since no significant revenue and profits are generated to pay them. Around 10% of the workforce residing in the U.S. have been reported to have lost their jobs due to the coronavirus. It is expected that the percentage would increase by up to 15% by the summer. Dalio expects the corporate sector to lose up to $4 trillion, leaving the majority of the population broke. He also estimated that globally, the losses would climb up to $20 trillion. This loss is much more significant than the 2008 recession when the US GDP fell by 4.3% and the unemployment rate rose up by 10%. Dalio explains how in 2008 the financial crisis collapsed the US market and made the financial institutions that had leveraged a huge amount of debt bankrupt. To cope with the losses, the U.S. government injected $700 billion as a bailout to keep these institutions running. This prevented the domino effect onto the rest of the economy. However, this time, it's not just the banks that have been severely affected. Millions of small and large businesses all over the U.S. have also been affected. As these businesses are shut down, they are piling up debt, making the situation even worse. Furthermore, Dalio also pointed out that the U.S. monetary policies were different in 2008 than they are now. In 2008, the U.S. government used its reserve in order to reduce the interest rates significantly, playing a large role in boosting the devastated economy. Now, even though the interest rates were relatively lower before the pandemic, it has created an inability of central banks to stimulate normally. Dalio believes that creativity and inventiveness would help rebuild the economy. It is significant to restructure debt policies and monetization to aid the thriving economy. The dollar is devaluing as the days go by. The government and entrepreneurs need to adapt to the situation and come up with innovative ideas to succeed in this difficult economic environment. The organizations with a strong balance sheet and the daily demand would thrive well in this economic crisis. However, other businesses and investors would struggle to meet ends. The government has a huge responsibility of injecting money into the economy and increasing the buying power of the people to resume production. Though Dalio has not given a proper timeline, he believes that it will take a really long time for the economy to return to its previous glory, as it once was before the COVID-19 pandemic. Joe Biden also agrees with Dalio that this economic crisis gives the gist of what the country faced during the Great Depression, calling the pandemic the biggest challenge in modern history. While other experts believe that this crisis is not like the Great Depression, since the financial crisis is due to a global pandemic rather than an unstable or unproductive economy. As there is nothing fundamentally wrong with the US economy, these experts have a more optimistic approach to this pandemic, thinking that the economy would quickly recover once the coronavirus pandemic subsides. Once it is safe to go out in the world and the coronavirus is no more a threat to human lives, it is expected that the economy would rebound robustly. They expect the economy to come back to its glory days in the second half of the year after the second quarter. Dalio states that even if the virus were to go away, there would be affectees in the country. The hospitals that would have had the burden of taking care of the patients would suffer a huge amount of losses. People who would have lost all their savings and money would still be a problem for the economy. This is where the government will have to restructure the economy and implement self-sufficiency to keep the financial system intact. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, hit the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next one.